Shove it, man!
Hola from the Hawk who makes your girl squawk. Today on Ring of the Hawk we have a competitor that I'm surprised hasn't featured yet. Now I don't think we're in any danger of him challenging for Brock Lesnar's Season 2 belt, available exclusively on Patreon. In fact, I think it will take a miracle to keep him out of the Shove It zone. He was rated highly by the leader of the Grey Crew, Eric Bischoff, who declared our guy one of his favourite wrestlers. So let's see if we can see what this bowl cut Burke saw in him. And of course,
if you know a wrestler that can do the J-O-B to the H-J-W-K any night, any day, ha ha! Shove their name in the comments, Jack!
Okay, Orlando Jordan, if he slept with EY with youth protection like Norton. I shouldn't really have to say it because I have a pretty mature audience. At the same time, we all go around threatening to bash each other's brains in with bricks. But homophobic comments will be deleted. Today we're here to judge his wrestling character skills and star power, nothing else. Jordan debuted on the 3-hour Impact special where TNA tried to go head to head with Raw for the very first time in 2010. People were randomly turning up left, right and centre, and Jordan would be one of those random people. During a backstage interview with the Pope, Jordan marched up cutting a rambling promo. He said he was invited here by Hogan but he can't find him. Pope's unhappy that his interview time was interrupted. Match 1, Orlando Jordan, who seems very normal, no wacky gimmicks here, he's just dancing around. And he takes on the Pope D'Angelo De Niro, who has a bad leg. The fans are definitely cheering the Pope here. We start with a lockup, but Jordan throws him off with an arm drag. He seems confused now. They trade holds for a while now before Jordan grabs onto Pope's leg and sweeps out the other. Pope talks some smack now before Jordan says shut up or I'll slap you one. This fires the Pope up and he pimp slaps Jordan. De Niro then crashes on the back of Jordan as he goes out the ring. But when he comes back in the ring, Jordan zones in on his bad leg. Jordan follows that up with a dragon screw on the bad leg. Then out of nowhere, OJ wins it with a flatliner. This match did little to help us understand what we're going to be in for this run. But what it did tell us is to expect some anger as TNA talents are beaten up by Hogan's boys. That's not Jordan's fault, I'm just preparing you all. It's a D, not really much to say. Match 2, Orlando Jordan. Nothing's changed with him except a bass line has been added to his music. And he once again takes on the Pope. This is happening because the Pope wasn't 100% for their last match, it should be more even this time. This one's starting to get heated, they don't seem to like each other. Pope hits a bunch of arm drags and a pimp slap. Jordan gets back in it with a thumb to the eyelid and a chop block. Jordan tries the flatliner, but the Pope fights it off. When he turns around, Jordan hits a nice drop kick. Pope desperately tries to get back in it. He's quickly closed down for Jordan's swinging net breaker. Moments later, Jordan hits a big wind-up back breaker. The crowd chant, "You still suck." Jordan tries his punch combination from the WWE, but that doesn't work and Pope mounts a comeback. He floors Jordan with a flying shoulder block. Pope does the coronation on the ropes now, which gets him a 2 count. The match has yet another turn now. Jordan hits the Pope with a spinebuster. Jordan takes time to box the Pope in the corner, but the Pope turns it around with his own strikes. And there it is, the D'Angelo De Niro Express, DDE, and that's the 3. The match was better than expected, and we definitely got to see a bit more of what Jordan's capable of. This one was a C, no complaints whatsoever. So after that somewhat low-key run, Jordan disappeared from TNA for the next 8 episodes. Match 3, this one's gonna hurt. You might want to skip the next 2 minutes of this video. It's Orlando Jordan who now has a random man and a woman with him, and he will take on Samoa Joe, who looks to be in a foul mood. Jordan jumps Joe during his entrance, but he misses. Joe gives him rapid fire punches and stomps. Joe hits the kick in the corner and this one might not last long. Moments later, Joe hits a big leg lariat for a 2 count. The crowd chant, "Joe's gonna kill you." Samoa Joe tries a charge but is countered by a Jordan spinebuster. Jordan also hits the spinning net breaker. He hits a boring knee for a 1 count. Joe looks like he's constipated. Joe gets back in this again with a bunch of clotheslines and a back body drop. Samoa Joe seems a bit hesitant, possibly due to his constipation. Joe starts beating up Jordan in the corner and then puts him on the top rope. He then takes his eye off Jordan for a moment, and when he turns around he gets a spinning inverted DDT. And Orlando Jordan has now pinned Samoa Joe. It doesn't help that he did almost nothing in this match, then won with 1 move against a former world champion. This made Samoa Joe and TNA fans resent him. People were confused by why someone who was treated as a joke in WWE was now beating top TNA talent. Well, the answer is that Joe was a top TNA talent to the fans only. Management did not view him that way. I'm getting off subject, and this match annoyed me and made me feel like smashing a brick. It's an S. No match for 8 episodes of Impact now, but we do get some character work whilst he's not having matches. But I'd rather we had nothing. Orlando Jordan used this time to fall in love with the Welsh ROIDER Rob Terry. He tried to impress him by squirting cream all over himself. He also started his own talk show, The O-Zone. Orlando Jordan interviewed a life-size cutout of the Welsh ROIDER. Jordan lusted over this life-size cutout until the real Rob Terry made his way out to beat Jordan up. Jordan then choked Terry out and then dropped a pot on him. Hopefully I never have to watch the Ozone ever again. This feud will go on for a bit, unfortunately. Match 4, Orlando Jordan versus Tyson Tomko, who looks like the master of the cab driver slam with a beard. Tomko powers him into the corner and then quickly hits a cab driver slam, the cab driver slam. Jordan no-sells it and he's back up and he takes Tomko down with a double leg. Jordan misses his follow-up dive, which allows Tomko to hit a press into the Scott Hall special, the sack of shit. Tomko's dominating, but Jordan stops his next move and nails a dropkick. Now we get the worst snapmare of all time. Why is this match still going? Jordan does a better snapmare now and puts on a chin lock. Tomko fights out of it and hits a clothesline for a 2 count. Tyson Tomko tries a choke bomb, which Orlando counters with a jab to the gut and he hits a backstabber. That's just a 2. Seconds later it ends when Jordan puts on a guillotine submission and referee Earl Hebner stops the match. Hated it, it's an S. Match 5, Sacrifice 2010, Global title. The challenger, Orlando Jordan, who is lowered to the ring by ropes, versus the champion, the Welsh ROIDER Rob Terry. It's 8 minutes, you've got to be kidding me, I don't want to do it. Terry is in a bad mood just like me and he attacks straight away and powers Jordan into the corner. He throws Orlando Jordan across the ring to complete silence. Terry is hitting every basic move in the Year 1 wrestling playbook. The side slam gets a 2 for Terry. Orlando attempts to fight back but he gets hit with a spin kick. Terry sends him out to the ramp whilst he poses for the crowd. Jordan slowly crawls away from the ring, he's had enough. Terry retrieves him and throws him back in the ring. Rob Terry hits a power slam now, but there's hesitancy with the pin count, just a 2 eventually. Jordan then manages to grab Rob's leg on the top rope and he kicks it a few times. Rob is apparently too stupid to move his leg from the rope. Jordan hits a dragon screw to follow that. The match has now turned in our guy's favour, it hurts me to say that. Jordan wraps his leg around the ring pole. I'm so bored I started ripping out my eyelashes. Terry counters a spinning toe hold but Jordan stamps on him to calm him down. Rob Terry is now being dominated and he's crying on the floor. We get the OJ knee drop now and he mounts Terry for a 2 count. Why is this still going on? I just want to turn it off. Jordan tries a second rope knee drop but he misses it by a country mile. Orlando Jordan then slowly picks him up and out of nowhere Rob Terry hits a choke slam for the 3. No need to waste any more time on this one. 2 idiots smashed together for 8 minutes and suck Sonny Siaki's ass. Oh no, Jordan attacks him on the ramp so this awful feud is probably still going.
Oh, that was bad, bro. Bad. I'm done with both of these guys. I am totally done.
Match 6, Orlando Jordan versus Rob fucking Terry again. Terry wins for a bit until Jordan starts attacking the bad leg again. This one goes on for a while whilst Rob Terry grits his teeth in anger as pus and juice pours out of his roid holes. Jordan puts on a leg bar and the ref calls for the bell because he's worried about Rob's health. From Jordan's perspective, this whole segment went okay. He looked dangerous and he needed to come out of the joke zone. This post-match attack goes on longer than the match itself, it's a D. Match 7, Orlando Jordan, who's starting to look stranger and stranger. Actually, he's got the face of the Monster Abyss on his nipples, and he takes on that very man, the Nipple Abyss, with Chelsea. Jordan is more interested staring at Chelsea than his opponent. Abyss tries to work on Jordan's arm, but he rolls out of it. Orlando Jordan doesn't have the strength to keep the monster down, and he starts smacking Jordan around. Abyss rips off the nipple tassels, he isn't a fan. Big back body drop by the monster now. Jordan almost catches the ropes with his feet. Abyss lumbers into the corner and he misses whatever it was supposed to be. Jordan zones in on the monster's bad arm. Jordan then dives off the top with an elbow to Abyss's arm. That gets him a 2 count. OJ then misses an elbow and Abyss is back up. He hits a big boot but he can't manage a choke slam because Jordan attacks the arm. Moments later, Abyss drops Jordan on his face. The match spills out the ring now where Jordan pushes the idiot into Chelsea. Abyss starts whimpering and crying. He's no longer interested in the match. Probably a good thing because Desmond Wolfe appears and he hits Abyss with the pipe. The match is thrown out. Wolfe and Jordan beat up Abyss but the Welsh ROIDER Rob Terry makes the save. He hits the Freak Buster to Jordan. Why I'm spending so much time on these details is beyond me. The match was really boring. It's an S. Match 8 tag match. Desmond Wolfe and Orlando Jordan who has a sex toy and Rob Terry nipple tassels. Can we please just end this pointless feud? They take on Rob Terry and Abyss with Chelsea. Orlando doesn't start the match. He stands on the ring apron shaking his shaker device. He gets the tag from Wolfe and does a double axe from the top to Abyss. Abyss shuts him down with an elbow and crushes him in the corner. Jordan is sent out the ring now. He lands at the feet of Chelsea and he stares up her dress. Chelsea slaps him. Wolfe is upset that his own partner is hitting on his piece. Abyss beats them up on the outside. Meanwhile in the ring, Terry brings Jordan into the ring and hits a Freak Buster chokeslam for the 3. I'll give Jordan this, he's trying to do what he can with the minuscule amounts of TV wrestling time he has. It's a D for character work, but there isn't really much I can say. No match for a couple of months now, so his feud with Rob Terry just seems to have ended abruptly. Abruptly is usually a bad thing, but this time it was appreciated. You thought the last gimmick was annoying? Stay tuned. Match 9, the men with Mohawks, Jesse Neal and Jeff Hardy's stoner friend versus Orlando Jordan, who gets his chewed up bubblegum and puts it into SoCal Val's mouth. That is disgusting. And he teams with Eric Young and a sex doll. I'm really struggling to find anything to say about this one. Orlando Jordan does a neck breaker. What happens next for the finish of the match is hard to describe. Orlando Jordan wants to tag out, but he tags the sex doll's arm, which snaps off. Eric Young throws the sex doll off the top rope, but he misses the stoner friend. Everyone pauses and looks bemused. The men with Mohawks dropkick Jordan into Eric Young, and then they hit the Morgasm for the 3. A D because it made me laugh. It still sucked though. Match 10, Orlando Jordan, who rubs his lolly on his nipple and gives it to SoCal Val, versus the Pope D'Angelo De Niro. The match starts with Orlando trying to swallow his own hand. This goes on for a while. Pope isn't impressed and nor am I, and he shoves him down. They trade waist locks as the commentary team joke that you don't want Orlando behind you. He grinds on Pope, which leads to a pimp slap. Pope's now screaming at him, let's wrestle. This seems to throw Pope off his game and Jordan gets the advantage. Eric Young appears on the ramp and he's swimming in the Pope's dollars and eating them. This distracts Orlando Jordan, as it would most people. The Pope hits a back body drop and moments later he wins with the D'Angelo De Niro Express with 3 S's.
Shove this grade up your ass!
Match 11, Orlando Jordan, who's now groping SoCal Val, versus the Samoan straining machine Samoa Joe. No time for shenanigans here, Joe just beats the shit out of him in the corner. Joe drills Jordan with a kick. He tries to put on the Kikita clutch, but Jordan backs him into the corner and tries the grind. He also punches Joe a few times. It's not the most incredible match you will ever have seen. Jordan elbows Joe in the head as the crowd cry in their sleep. Jordan goes for 10 punches in the corner, but then he gets distracted and starts making out with a wrestling doll. Couldn't make out whose doll it was. Joe kicks him and hits the back senton. That's like a small camper van falling on you. Joe does a T-bone suplex and the muscle buster, and it's over. These matches suck both Sonny and Solo's asses. There's no time for Samoa Joe to celebrate this victory though, because a wild Slapnuts appears.
Come on, Jay. Jeff Jarrett.
He's just here to take Joe for a trip down memory lane. After a few months off the main show, Jordan returns and he now has long hair and he also has Eric Young. The joke here is that Jordan wants to fuck him and Eric wants to be a tag team and he's crazy. Match 12, tag team match. Jeff Hardy, Stoner Friend and Jesse Neal, the men with Mohawks, versus Eric Young and Orlando Jordan. Eric wants to lock up with the referee. It's actually true that Eric Young is worse than Orlando during this part of the run. The match finally starts. Jesse Neal slaps Orlando in the gut and hits a hip toss. Orlando fights back. He has Jesse backed into the corner and he does a slow grind on him, followed by a kiss. Neal is angry, so Orlando clotheslines him to calm him down. We get a new move from Jordan now. It's a shoulder breaker. The crowd chant, we want Eric. Jesse Neal tries to mount a comeback again, but he gets dropped with the spinebuster. Jordan mounts him for a 0 count. Jordan doesn't want to tag Eric in, and it allows the Stoner Friend to get into the match. He hits a spin kick followed by an atomic drop and a head scissors. This match is now improving. Shannon hits a kick and then he gets really high to the top rope and he hits a moonsault for a 2. Eric Young thinks him and Shannon are partners and they start fighting Orlando together. What an idiot. Jordan tries to use this as an advantage to cheat and he makes a pin with his feet on the ropes. Eric Young points it out to the referee. More shenanigans are going on now. Orlando smacks the Stoner Friend in the nutsack and that's the 3. After the match, Eric Young tells the ref they'd like to forfeit the match, which pisses Jordan off. Orlando actually feels tolerable compared to Eric Young at this point. He did okay, it's a C. Before the next match, Eric reveals that Orlando's family disowned him because he's bipolar.
Eric, look, I have something to tell you. You know, I'm bi.
Polar! Yes! I diagnosed you with that months ago.
Match 13, Bound for Glory 2010 tag. The men with Mohawks versus Eric Young and Orlando Jordan. What a wacky bunch of characters we have here. Eric thinks he's teaming with the Mohawks, but he doesn't have one. Now he wants to be the referee and he counts a pin for Jesse Neal. Orlando takes advantage with the referee distracted. Not for long though, as Jesse Neal hits a crossbody. Jeff's Stoner Friend is in now with a kick. Jordan punches him and tags Eric in. Young is an idiot and he doesn't want to wrestle the match and he forces Jordan into the ring. Shannon hits a big head scissors. The Mohawks double team now. Eric wants to join in but OJ dodges him. Both Young and Jordan end up straddling the top rope, nutsack first. Why is this still going? Jordan is now grinding on the Stoner Friend. Shannon shoves him off but he eats a spinebuster. Eric is still refusing to take part in the match properly. Jordan will have to continue this one on his own as he hits a suplex. Orlando tries to cheat again now, so Eric kicks his hand off the ropes, which almost causes Orlando to be rolled up. Then there's a double down. Nobody gets the tag. Eric is still being wacky and he thinks he's Shannon's teammate. The Stoner friend hits an Intiguri kick, and Eric Young tags himself in from Shannon. Orlando asks him what the hell he's doing now, and now the two partners will fight. Eric Young is busy celebrating, which allows the men with Mohawks to give Johnson a morgasm for the free. I hated this match so much, it was one of the most irritating, annoying 10 minutes of my life, and I've spent time with your girlfriend. It's a D because it wasn't Jordan's fault, but it doesn't stop me from hating it. Luckily for me, the world's most annoying tag team don't wrestle much, but they do constantly waste airtime with backstage skits. The gimmick here is that Eric Young wants to be with him as a tag team. He loves tag teaming, but Jordan wants to be a couple in the sexual sense. Match 14 tag match. Eric Young with Hooters Girls teamed up with Orlando Jordan, who also wants to be a Hooters Girl, to take on the Young Bucks. Yet again, it's a really annoying match with Eric Young's antics turned up to 1,000. He throws the Bucks out of the ring, but then he starts to attack Jordan too. Eric Young is busy flirting with the Hooters Girls, so his Bucks get the jump on him. The Bucks then try to flirt with the Hooters Girl, but they're too skinny and slimy and the girls are disgusted. Orlando's back in the ring now and he hits a big back body drop and a spine buster. He mounts Matt Jackson for the 2 count. The blonde-haired Buck then gets a 2 on a leg drop. The Bucks do manage to land a few moves on Jordan now, but they keep getting distracted by the Hooters Girls. You would have thought that they'd never been out of their mum's basements before. Eric Young takes them both out of a suicide dive. Orlando's back in now and he hits a spine buster and puts on a submission. I have no idea what it's called, but that's the tap out win in 2 minutes. I hate this match so much, it's an S. Match 15. It gets even worse now with the next match because it's Gunner and a man called Murphy taking on Young and Jordan. No one gets an entrance. The highlight of the match is Jordan thrusting on the man called Murphy's face. Eric Young gets beaten by Gunner and Murphy whilst Jordan lies on the floor doing nothing. Simply terrible, and I wasn't exactly expecting anything. It's an S. Match 16, Fatal 4-Way, Jesse Neal with Shannon versus Douglas Williams with Magnus versus Orlando Jordan with Eric versus Crimson with Steiner. Orlando randomly comes into the match and he hits a side slam on Jesse Neal. Neal fires back with a flying strike. Orlando then disappears again. Steiner goes into a roid rage and it leads to everyone fighting on the outside of the ring. The focus of the match is definitely not the match itself. Eventually, only Orlando and Williams are left in the ring. Jordan almost wins with a running clothesline. Eric Young then starts attacking the referee, so the British Invasion starts to cheat. Eric suddenly stops being a clown and he takes Magnus out. Orlando Jordan wins with the gender bender. I'm not joking, that's what they called it. This match can shove it.
No!
The team continue to stay backstage making jokes and not much wrestling at all. Eric Young is the larger than life character who's a complete idiot and Orlando just wants to fuck him. I don't know what else to say, it's not really amazing character work. Goldust is an example of this sort of gimmick done right. He groped his opponents and lusted after them, but he cut good promos and got heat. Orlando is just a guy, nothing remarkable about him. The gimmick is now officially We Love Tag Teaming. Match 17, Lockdown 2011, Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. The men with Mohawks versus the British Invasion versus Eric Young and Orlando Jordan versus the main event Mafia 1.5. I think it's supposed to be a serious match, but Eric Young is ruining the match again. I've had enough of him. Jordan gets in against Douglas. He has to fight the British Invasion on his own because his partner's an idiot. He grinds on Magnus and clotheslines Williams. Jesse Neal tags himself in. The crowd don't care about the match and chant, "We want Steiner." The commentary team don't care about the match and they agree, they just want to see Steiner. He does get in after a while and he beats up the British Invasion for like 5 minutes. Orlando Jordan has done virtually nothing but stand on the ring apron. Towards the end of the match, Jordan randomly runs in and hits the gender bender on the Stoner friend. Jesse Neal spears him down straight away, and that's his involvement done in this one completely. The Stoner friend wins with the morgasm on Douglas Williams. Is it time to turn this off yet? This is appalling. It's the most nailed on S since, the last match. Oh, thank God. Match 18, final match. 25-man Battle Royal. Does it ever feel like we always finish with a Battle Royal on these Ring of the Hawk shows, or is it just me? Jordan doesn't go out first, but instead, he goes out third. He decides to grind on Matt Boring, who gets angry and launches him out the ring. Yet another S, there's no need to guess. I couldn't care less who ends up winning this match. All that's left to do is grade him. It's one of the easiest grades of all time. He's going in the shove it zone. He's not going in last though. At least he was trying to get his character over, which is more than I can say for some of the miserable sacks of shit in the shove it zone. There's no need to moan. I think he probably had more backstage segments than matches, which all follow the same formula of Eric Young being confused over their relationship. He was also a better wrestler than he got to show in TNA. Well, that's it for another week on the Hawk Hogan Show. Let me know any other wrestlers who blow.